Yo, still bills, what's the deal, man? Nigga back, just fresh off the clockage, heading to the cribbage right now, kicking my feet up, man. I want to try and get back in the gym today, man. Like, I really, I'm just waiting on coach to hit me back, man. Is the gym time still the same or what? Because that's gonna make or break whether I go or not, man. But peep gang, we gotta get into this shit, man, and that is Jared Anderson, man. I was hearing he was supposed to fight Deontay. Oh, man, this filthy work that Wilder been getting smacked on the way that he been getting smacked on, man. Because it was plans for him had he won. Had he beat Joseph Parker, we finally get the AJ fight. Had he beat Zhang, we get the big baby fight. But it just didn't turn out to be like that, man. But Jared Anderson versus Martin Bakole, man. I ain't gonna cap. I like that fight. I really like that fight. And I know his name was being mentioned with the likes of Zhilei Zhang. His name was being mentioned with the likes of Zhang for the, I've been hearing that for some time now, man. I thought Zhang would have been a bit more of a tougher fight for him because just the range alone, man. Charles Martin was able to catch that dude, not even backing out. You dig? Like it wouldn't be like he would, following. No, he will follow him out. Let me take that. Let me take that back. And he was a southpaw as well. And Charles Martin is not as nuanced as Zhilei Zhang. Even though Charles Martin is a former world champion and Zhilei Zhang has never possessed a belt, Zhilei Zhang is a step above Charles Martin. We just got to be real about that, man. And he has the propensity to lean back and lean back and lean back instead of just dipping at, bending at his waist and his knees and getting to the sides of the shots. Once you start stepping up, and this crop of heavyweights is rangier. Joe Joyce, Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, Zhilei Zhang. These dudes is 6'6", 6'7". These is colossal sized human beings. And you keep leaning back, and you don't think that that's gonna get you punished. You dig? Someone is gonna touch you. You dig? Once they get your patterns down, because you haven't been in there with no high quality opposition to the point, to the level of which we're accustomed to seeing. And you got Charles Martin touching you on the way out. That would have been a bad. That'd have been a bad. I just feel like that really would have been a bad situation for Jared Anderson, man. I feel like with someone like Martin Bakole, who I think when I look at Bacole's a rough rider. You dig? He's in the pocket with you. He's banging with you. He's in the phone booth with you. And God bless you if you're able to get through 12 rounds of that. God bless you if you're able to get through 12 rounds of that. Michael Hunter did, but we don't know if Jared Anderson is Michael Hunter. And I think that, honestly, but I would have. Oh, nah, I won't say that. Well, maybe so. Yeah, maybe I would have put him in there with a Michael Hunter before Martin Bakole because Michael Hunter isn't as big as a puncher, but he has a high boxing acumen. Good feet, good counter punching, defense. He's been in with some premier heavyweights. He's been in with Usyk, even though they was at cruiserweight when they fought. He's been in with Bakole, and he's been in with Povetkin. He's been in with some factors up there. Man. So he knows how to maneuver around big targets. He knows how to. So when you in there with someone with a high boxing IQ, I feel like that right there that's a look that you should look to. That you should aspire to go and get in with because you ain't gonna always have you're not gonna always have the physical advantages. You're not gonna have what's the word I'm looking for? You're not gonna always have what's the word I'm looking for? You're not always going to be in a position to use your physical advantage, your physical advantages to your advantage. You're going to have to get in there and start using your boxing brain. You have to get in there and, you know what I'm saying, start studying somebody's habits. We're all creatures of habits. We're going to have to start using, find a way to make him, you're just going to have to start using your boxing brain. I'm not about to get all into the details of it or whatever, man. You're going to have to start using your brain. I would have liked to see him in there with someone like a Michael Hunter before Martin Bakole because I think Bacole's a lot more dangerous of a fight for him because of just how big, how big of a puncher Bakole is. And I'm not getting super drag out one punch knockout power from Jared Anderson. And I'm also getting complacency from Jared Anderson. I'm not seeing somebody who's hungry and motivated to get in there. And, just the dude's already talking about, yeah, man, I ain't about to be doing this for X amount of years. Like that's the wrong mentality to have with someone who wants to be a champion, who's aspiring to be a champion. And Bakole is a dangerous, dangerous, dangerous dude to be in there with and have that mentality. You got. It's always nuanced, man. A motherfucker, like a motherfucker going there like, yo, man, just sometimes people, they perform better when they just have a fucking mentality. Like if I lose, I lose. Fuck it. It is what it is. You dig? I don't care. I might retire. Like I'm really thinking about retirement. Some people perform better under them type of situations. Some people don't. Some people is like, yo, he's already mentally checked out. And with him, it's kind of like a eesh, I don't know, you dig? Like maybe are you ready to go, bro? Because I don't know. But nonetheless, I do like the fight, man. I would have loved the him and Zile Zhang fight. I would have loved him versus Zile Zhang, but and I've also heard that he went and got he hired Stewart, not Stewart, Sugar Hill to train him, and I think that's a good thing. Shit, man, look at the wonders that it did for Tyson Fury against Deontay Wilder. It did. We not tap dancing and circling the perimeter of the ring. We not doing that, yo. We said we going right into the Lions Den. We going right into the Lions Den, and that paid dividends for him, man. So maybe with this, Sugar Hill can teach him to get to stop pulling back. You don't have the luxury of doing that once you start stepping up in competition because the shortest heavyweight is Andy Ruiz, who's of that elk. That's the shortest heavyweight. You can pull back on him all day. And he doesn't have the feet to really step in behind your jabs like that. No, we're like, nah. It's not a lot of graceful movers up there at heavyweight, man. Unless you talk about Usyk or Tyson Fury. These dudes, they're not fleet-footed heavyweights like that. Which is hard to be that anyway because these dudes is 250, you know what I'm saying? These are big, colossal sized human beings. But you're not gonna have the luxury of consistently pulling back on these rangier heavyweights, man. It's just not gonna happen. You're gonna start getting followed out, and they're gonna punish you for that. And I feel like Shang would have been the dude to do that, especially deep in the fight. We did because it was really alarming watching him versus Charles Martin and how easily Charles Martin was able to touch him and how he wasn't necessarily able to hurt Charles Martin like we thought. Neither Charles Martin started coming on later on in the fight after he had already been dropped. Now, let's be diplomatic about this. Sometimes you have to go through those experiences in order to elevate in whatever it is that you do. So, him looking like that in front of a Charles Martin, he knows, all right, I'll be more equipped to deal with somebody with range on me. And I know I'm not gonna, bank on a knockout. I know now not to burn through my energy reserves and none of that shit. You dig? Now I know what to do. I know how to pace myself a whole lot better, and I'll be better prepared for that situation and when it presents itself. So maybe it could have been something like that, man. But then you got the Riyad Murray fight. It's just like, bro, you seem to be plateauing. So I'm glad he got somebody who could be a little bit more favorable of him in this particular, with his particular style because Zile Zhang I feel like would have been a bad matchup for him, bro. Just he's faster than Zile Zhang, yeah, but on the back end of that fight, when Zile Zhang really starts finding a home for that left hand, it's going to be bad. It's going to be bad. And people feel like he has an argument for beating Joseph Parker, a far more seasoned fighter who's looked to have reinvented himself. You dig? Understood, man. Nah, I'm not about to sit here in the pocket with you all day and look for the knockouts. Nah, I'm gonna use my speed because Joseph Parker isn't the biggest heavyweight either. He uses his size to his strength. He's in and out. He's 3-shot burst, get out. You know what I'm saying? He comes in low, explodes off the back foot when he closes that, gets too close. He closes the distance enough on you to where he's at a reasonable range. I don't know, bro. So that's all I'm saying, man. I like this fight. I would have preferred him in there with someone like a Michael Hunter, but I was about to say Lawrence. Michael Bakole, I think, is a good acid test for him because I don't know Michael Bacole's last fight. I don't know his last fight. I just I think he hasn't fought in like a year. I want to say, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember who his last fight was, but I know this dude is brutal. He's a brute. The dude is a legitimate brute. Definitely not somebody you want to get touched by, but he's all. I don't think he's as nuanced as Zhile Zhang and Michael Hunter and Usyk and Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury and Joseph Parker. I don't think he's as nuanced as them dudes. You dig? I think we know what we getting when we look at Bakole. And I think with Jared Anderson's skill set, I don't want to just come out here just right off the rip and say he beat him though, man, because he hasn't been in there with anybody you know. And Bakole, he isn't fresh, but he's fresh enough. He's fresh enough. I maybe would have want to see him. Maybe Big Baby. You dig? Maybe you could have took a fight with Big Baby. But Big Baby is finna fight Andy Ruiz, man. I'm trying to think some other heavyweights that he could have been in there with before he. I think it's gonna be a dog fight, man. And Jared Anderson is really gonna have to utilize his strong suits. He's gonna have to utilize the switch hit. He's gonna have to utilize everything he can to offset this man because it's gonna be a long night for this dude because the dude punches so hard. Like this, Coley is violent, bro. He's violent, and I don't want to give up on Jared Anderson just yet, man. There's shit that I see in his game that I'm like, all right, that shit needs to be tuned up because you're in the wrong division to be doing the shit that you're doing. You're in the wrong division to be talking the way that you talk. So I'm holding out hope that man, he could come out and be victorious. Or just even put up a good fight. So we can just hurry up and get. Oh gosh, even if he loses, if it's a competitive loss, I'm with that. I'm with that because if he has aspirations to be in a factor in the division, then that right there is going to be that may be what he needs to get pushed over the edge to say, yo, I'm going hard now. So I like the fight. I honestly do. I think it's a good fight, and may the best man win. I feel like I want to go for Coley because one thing about these Riyadh fights, they not get this ain't no legitimate acid test or nothing like that, man. This ain't none of that. This is we putting on big fights, so you can lose this fight. Nick Ball versus Raymond Ford was that in any other situation, that's a main event. You know what I'm saying? That's a main event. Zhang and Wilder, that's a main event. Hergovich and Dubois, that's a main event. So you're not getting we not getting no you're not getting no throwaway fights. You're not getting the fights that is gonna be on before the actual pay-per-view starts getting shown. Like, nah, it ain't none of that. You dig? You want to be at these fights. You want to get to the fights before the main event because how big of match and how competitive of a match this is gonna be. That's what you're getting out of Riyadh season. So it's officially sink or swim. It's officially sink or swim for Jared Anderson, man. And I hope homie can swim or at least got his life wrapped because it's gonna be a tough matchup, man. Riyad Murray, no, I'll take that back. I said Eddie Ruiz is the shortest heavyweight. Murray's the shortest heavyweight. I think Murray is like 5'9", fighting a heavyweight, man. That's that gives brothers like me hope. You dig what I'm saying? That gives brothers like me hope. Dig, and that solidifies my spot. That anybody get their chin touched. He done banged on some big dudes too. So I like to see that. I like to see the shorter dudes up there in them higher divisions getting busy. But like I was saying, he this isn't an acid test. This ain't this is the opponent to where we gonna see where you stand at within the heavyweight division. Is it are you ready for that next level of competition, or do we got to keep you at B and C level opposition to help you develop a little bit more? This ain't that. This is it. This is it. And if he don't do what it is, man, if he don't come in focused on this fight, it's gonna be a long day for him, man. It's gonna be a long day for that nigga. So him employing Sugar Hill Stewart, that's a good thing, man. Find a home in the phone booth. You dig? Find a home in the phone booth, man. Understand you're gonna get hit. You're fighting. You're gonna get put under immense amount of pressure. Punches are gonna come at you, and they're gonna be hard punches. You got to find a way to circumvent that, man. Just get real comfortable in the pocket, man. Really, man. Sugar Hill know what to do. He did it for Fury, man. So I don't necessarily have a winner in this fight because if I had to, I may say Bakole going into the, but just because of the, him being in there with Michael Hunter is a bigger step up, if you ask me, than being in there with someone like a Charles Martin. I think Michael Hunter is better than Charles Martin. Sorry, not sorry. I think he's better than Charles Martin. Big. That's the only fight that I can really think of that he's been in, man. Bakole is a man. It's gonna be a tough matchup for Jared Anderson, man. But I hope he can. I genuinely hope he can pull it off, man. I genuinely do. But yo, what the fuck is going on here? Yo, it's wild on the interstate, man. But yeah, man. Riyadh season, I can't wait for it, man. I can't wait for it. This fight is about to be lit. Bud and Madrimov is about to be lit. It is what it is, man. Shout out to Turkey Al Sheik, man. But that's all I got to say about it, man. Y'all stay righteous. I'll get with y'all tomorrow, yo. Deuces. I got to get over.